All right, so once again, the idea of this entire thing is that I've recorded my locals. We're gonna go over these games one by one, and talk about the plays and talk about everything. I will say I did not play perfectly during this locals. There is gonna be mistakes, but I'm happy that's the case because I think that's something we can all learn from if we talk about it together. My opponents probably made some mistakes too, so be nice to everybody. We're all trying to learn, all right? No one is here to... No one wants to be flamed just because they're on a locals recap or whatever, you know? Like, everyone's trying to learn and play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I did not play perfectly at all. And I also want to say, because I did this for the very first time, you know, I'm new to this whole GoPro thing and everything. There's like 2 technical difficulties in there. The first one is the second match of the day. The battery of the GoPro died. So there's going to be, the end of the second match is cut off. But I roughly remember what happened, and I think it's only like 5 minutes that are missing, so we can still take a look at it. And then for one of them, I think one thing is missing, so we have to like change files in between. But yeah, that's about it. All right, so all right, we go in game 1, round 1. And so I told, do you remember when I told you I put in 2 polys so that if I draw 1 poly, my patchwork is still live and everything? Game 1, round 1, I draw double poly. I'm like, of course. But still, that's the thing. I'm never mad about drawing poly in Dracotail. It's fine.
Bei Main.
Ja. Kannst du auch mathematisch beweisen, dass 10 kleiner ist als 12?
Fange ich mal an mit einer Poli.
Geh ich doch mal.
Is that a beer? No, it's water.
Draw, Standby, Main.
Ja.
Würde ich Ash.
Ich würde mal anfangen mit Yugioh Dracotail.
And cause I'm good like that, I have Ash for... I have a strong engine hand and I have Ash for Fuva. It's just how I get.
Dann habe ich 1 Target Mululu und Ash und 2, 3.
If the angle of the GoPro is ever... I feel like it's a little suboptimal here. I'm sorry about that. I'm still getting used to that. Where's the subtitles? I mean, I'm here to explain what's going on, but yes, the audio, of course, that's why it's lower, is because it's German. But yes, so we go Arthalion, we add Ash back to hand and Mululu back to hand, because those are nice to fuse with on the opponent's turn, or the Mululu is nice to fuse with on the opponent's turn. Pan is too. And we set Rahu and Keita. And then here, this is how you do the Cartesia stuff. Not the Cartesia. This is how you can do the Magistus stuff. If you don't open Cartesia, is you're gonna have to normal summon a Lucius, right? So I'm going K2 add Lucius, so it can be my normal summon, and I can still do the thing. But first, we're getting Izuna. Yep. And I guess this is where the fact that I play 3 Pan and the fact that I opened Pan in this game comes back to bite me a little bit, because if I hadn't gone through Pan yet, I could have very easily bounced the I could have very easily destroyed whatever they make here later, but because Pan has already been used, I can't fuse another Pan from the deck later.
Hast du dann irgendwelche Trigger? Nee, darfst auch den Lux. Ja, ja. Und dann irgendwas hier? Nee, auch nicht. Dann würde ich auch noch probieren, seinen Effekt zu aktivieren. Ja.
But this is actually quite cool because they decide, I think they decide to go Ripper here to just negate further graveyard effects, which I think makes sense. You know, in theory, if I flip Rahu now and I go send 2 Dracotails and activate them by summoning Gulamel and they negate one of them with Ripper, it also, like, you know, it's pretty neat.
Dann würde ich Lucius nommen und Effekt.
But the thing that they don't know is that this does not actually do anything to the Magistus, right? Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and make my Magistus play here and not really care about the Ripper.
Praktisch, dass ich Pan schon verwendet habe.
Modulu, ich hätte fast so eine Chain aktiviert, das wäre nicht so gut gewesen.
Against Dracotail with K9, would you Izuna during mid combo or at the end of the combo? It's a good question. It's a good question, but I think making a Nesh Knight at the end is pretty good. Like if they're not doing any crazy lines like Dragon Maid or whatever, or Magistus, then you can do it at the end. All right, so the only thing that you have to keep in mind is when you play the Artemis package in this deck, whenever you get to this point, you need to spend 1 way to fusion summon to make the Zoroa. So here it's between I'm debating, should I use the Poly to fuse? I mean, I have to use the Poly to fuse because there's a Ripper. So I use the Poly to fuse into the Zoroa. Actually, I spent some time here thinking about, should I go for the Zoroa line or should I just make a Guardian Chimera? 1 from field, 2 from hand, pop the Ripper, draw 2 cards. That was also a consideration, but I do decide to go for the Zoroa. You're one of those that put the deck in front of the graveyard. I fixed that for game 2. It's just an old habit that I have at like locals and not so serious matches. Of course, at the you're not supposed to do that. It's just because I'm an old head. I'm an unk. That's how everyone did it back in the day, and so sometimes out of habit I still do it.
Okay.
Der kann nicht durch Kampf zerstört werden. Der End of Battle Phase kann ja sich für die kleine grüne quasi auf die Hand
So at this point, I have a monster negate with the Zoroa set up relatively early on in the combo. I'm not using the Phimena yet because the Phimena could be negated by Ripper, and I don't really want to. I don't know if I end up... Do I end up spending my Zoroa negate on the Ripper? Because I don't know if you should here. Kind of risky. But I do get both here. Negating this is risky.
Dann würde ich den Zoroa Chain, indem ich die Artemis weglege.
Okay. This is the first thing. This is what I explained earlier. This is one of the things. This is the nice thing about this. I explained this during the deck profile, but I learned it during locals yesterday, right? So, if I am planning to negate this Ripper with Zoroa, first of all, it plays into Nibiru a little bit, but I think the reason why I decided to play into Nibiru here is because I still, even if they have Nib, I get both traps here because I'm activating Urgula and Phimena. So I get both traps and I can still add Phimena back with the Urgula. So I'm probably still fine, but I definitely should search the Crowley early if I'm planning to negate with Zoroa, right? Like I should have had a Crowley in hand here, and just I'm too focused on making Kaliga here because it's my first time playing the deck, and I'm like I've learned all these Kaliga lines before I went to locals. I've looked at them, you know, and I'm like, yeah. Also, you are right. This is not the only time this is gonna happen today. I forget Arthalion in the graveyard, like, once a match. Like, be prepared for that. That's like, I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it, but like, I make Arthalion, it goes to the graveyard, I forget about it. Like, bro, it happens once a match. I don't know. It's my second time playing Dracotail, but I don't. Yeah, I think yeah. And the thing with it, too, is that I always realize it like 30 seconds after. It's not like I forget it entirely. I forget it in the moment when I build my chain. Then the chain resolves. I look at my graveyard. I'm like, ah. It's like always like 15-30 seconds later I realize, which makes it extra annoying. Because if I just forget it entirely and I'm complete, it probably wouldn't bother me. But yeah. Anyways, with all of that out of the way, I still have the Zoroa to negate the Ripper. I popped the Ripper with the Zoroa. I should have had a Crowley in hand. I should have chain blocked with the Arthalion. This was not ideal sequencing, but it was my first game playing the deck, so it's fine. My setup here at the end is still, I have recycled my Ash Blossom. I have a Zoroa, which is still a monster negate. I have a Gulamel to destroy something as soon as I use a Dracotail. I have Flame, I have Horn, and I have a Phimena that can fuse away a Mululu, which is another negation. So it's a really strong setup, considering they are going to be on 4 cards in hand because they've used Fuva, which I've ashed, and they had Izuna. Right, so could have been better, but still is pretty decent in terms of the setup. And they scoop it up. So at this point, all I've seen is Fuva and K9. Fuva and K9, which means I'm probably siding for either Crystron or Vanquish Soul, of course. So I'm putting in the imperms for potential Paradise Smasher, and I think I put in the Perulias here. Yeah, so those are the 6 I side in. Obviously, I'm not gonna side in Pankratops. Yeah. And in general, what I like to do with this deck is I like to side out some engine when I'm going second, because you have extra cards. I have Perulia, I have Fuva in the deck, which in theory they deck thin. So you see me like grabbing a bunch of like engine pieces, like the 3rd Lucius or one of the Polys. One Mululu. I kept in the Pan. I side out Magnamood against this. You saw me hover over the Crowley there for a second, and I honestly, looking back at yesterday, I think siding out the Crowley going second could be fine. But I'm siding out one trap. I'm choosing Flame here against K9, because I feel like on the second turn, when I'm going second, and then on their 3rd turn, they don't really have much of spells I need to negate. But don't they make Paradise with Lupus? I don't think Imperm is great. They can only make Paradise with Lupus if I activate any hand traps beforehand. Of course it depends, but if I don't hand trap at all, I can just Imperm the Smasher because it won't have Lupus. All right, let's scoop the next game. Dude, my hand going second this game is so busted. I felt so bad. Look at this hand. Look. Oh, I have Nib, Fuva, Phimena, and a Dracotail. It's disgusting. It's a disgusting hand. Holy shit. And at this point, they revealed that they are playing Chaotic Element. So they are playing probably not Vanquish Soul. They go for Jokul. And I decided to do something risky in a second, which I want to discuss with you for a second, whether that's correct or not. Because I haven't reached a conclusion on this yet. All right. So they go Jokul, reveal Izuna. Which, first of all, they don't activate Izuna here, which it's either because they forgot or maybe because they drew the Lupus. One of the two, I don't know. But the decide to not Fuva here. I decide to not Fuva here because, hear me out, okay? If you Fuva here, your opponent knows that they're gonna be under Fuva, so they probably go Jokul, search Izuna instead of Jokul, search Lantern, which I want them to do, right? I'm playing Dracotail. I want my opponent to search a Lantern and not a Izuna for my next turn. So I wanna let them search first. The problem is that this is a little bit risky because there are some lines in which your opponent might make Ripper immediately here to play around Joel and Lockbird, right? But the thing is, I know, like, you can play around Joel and Lockbird with like K9 in this spot by making Ripper first and then using Jockle later, because it's gonna, you can summon it back with Lantern, right? Like, you can just go Ripper, detach, Jockle, search Lantern, Lantern, special Jockle, search with both. That's better into Joel and Lockbird, which is what people are supposed to do. In this case, because they started Chaotic Elements though, they don't have to play around Droll, right? That's my reasoning for holding the Fuva here, is because they started Chaotic Elements. In their mind, it's like, okay, my opponent doesn't have Droll, so why not search with Jokul here? But like I said, that's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I held the Fuva here, because I want my opponent to go search Lantern, and I was pretty confident they were gonna search with the Jokul before making Ripper. Which is what they do, luckily. But the problem is, like, I don't know if the payoff is worth the risk, but it worked out here, so it's fine. And now the only thing that's left for my hand to be the absolute nuts is for this Fuva to resolve. If this Fuva... that deck is now fixed. If this Fuva resolves, it's actually insane. Did you strap the GoPro to your forehead? The GoPro is on my head, yes, which is it felt a little weird at first, but you get used to it. You just have to forget that you're looking kind of weird while playing, but it's honestly, just focus on the game and it's fine. But it took me a little bit of a, you know, it was a little bit of a step in the beginning to put that thing on my head and everything, but you know, I got used to it. And the Fuva resolves, so I'm just the best in this case. So the Ripper comes out. I draw Mululu, which gives me a second Dracotail name to fuse with the 5 mana. So I just have Mululu and Lucius to fuse. I let him cook for now.
Yep.
And because I activated the Fuva, they get to search the forced release for free here, or set it for free, which is fine.
Die liegt schon, ne? Ja.
And at this point, I'm just hoping they commit more, because I'm like, you know, I kind of want to get value out of these cards. Because if they just, like, honestly, unironically, if they just pass here with Ripper, forced release, and like another Izuna in hand, it's like low-key, I'm like, that's kind of annoying. Like, when they search this Izuna here, I'm looking at it, I'm like, if they pass now, you know, my hand's good. I have a strong engine hand. I can probably beat it, but it's like still more annoying than if they play into this Nibiru. Right? But luckily they do extend with the Lantern. Lantern revives the Jokul. And I don't Nibiru yet, because I don't care what they do here. I guess like the absolute worst case is that they make a, what is it, Chronomaly Vamana, I believe, is another monster negate that you can make, which I just wasn't predicting them to do. So they just search another case. That's whatever. It's follow-up. They can't. Oh, it's a light. Okay, yeah, you're right. I was worried for nothing. Okay, yeah, good point. Good point. So it's probably just Nash Knight here, right? Yeah, it's Nash Knight. Bro, I forgot how broken I drew this match. Dude, the Urgula. The Urgula? My god. It's so broken. So at this point, like before I drew the Urgula, okay? Before I drew the Urgula, I think my play was just activate 5 mana to force the Ripper and then nib. But now that I have the Urgula, I'm like, I'm just gonna nib, force the Ripper, and then resolve the 5 mana because my 5 mana is so broken here. My 5 mana is so busted. I'm just gonna use the nib to bait the... And think about that. Nibiru being the bait for the negate is crazy. I use Nibiru to bait the Ripper because I want to resolve my Izuna so bad. It's so broken.
Nibiru aktivieren. Der annulliert nur, zerstört nicht.
Did I say Izuna? I meant the Ripper, of course. Okay. All right, so I force it, and then I 5 mana. I hold my breath for no Called by the Grave, but to be honest, they probably would have said it because they're going end of main phase. And then I just slap a fat 4 material Arthalion. I think I end up just doing 4. And this game, I will say already, I think on the next turn we can try to figure out what the best sequencing of plays would have been, because I think the next turn, like at this point I'm sitting there like, this game is over. I have won, right? Like my hand was so broken. I felt bad for my opponent already because of how good my hand was. And I'm like, okay, this game is over, right? And next turn, my plays start getting a little sloppy because that's something I do sometimes. Is I start playing worse when I'm in like a super winning position. So we can discuss the next turn because I think this game ends up being a little longer than it needs to be because I don't play perfectly. All right, so 4 material Altharion. I'm gonna try a combination of like, I want to add back as much engine as possible so my next turn can be strong, but I still want to bounce the Nash Knight with the Arthalion. So what I'm gonna, basically what my goal is here, I'm gonna try to get rid of the Arthalion. I'm gonna try to get rid of the Nash Knight, and I also want to get rid of the forced release possibilities on top of the Ripper. So I think my goal is to bounce the Nash Knight with the Arthalion and to pop the forced release with the Urgula. And this is the first mistake. I did forget in this moment that Mululu can negate forever. So I could have just negated the Nash Knight with Mululu instead of bouncing it with the Arthalion. In which case, I think the best line here is probably it's probably go Arthalion, bounce Ripper, Mululu negate Nash Knight, and then Urgula pop the Unknown set, because if I bounce the Ripper, the K9 forced release doesn't really do anything. However, it is dangerous because they have Izuna in hand, so as soon as I play, they can make another Ripper and then still rank it up. So I think popping the forced release still has advantages here. Can you turn your head to the right so I can watch the Fire King game next to you? I'm playing against the Fire King duelist later, don't worry. We have a Fire King matchup coming up.
Ja gut, der wird ja eh gleich hingehen. Okay, also ich resolve G3, setze 3 Spell Traps.
Alright, so I'm setting 3. I'm adding 3 cards back from the graveyard to my hand, and I'm bouncing the Nash Knight and popping the forced release.
Mit dem Mululu den annullieren und mit der Urgula würde ich...
Also die weiß, die ist unknown gesetzt, das ist die Spelltrap.
Dann würde ich...
You didn't draw? Yeah, it's not. It's my opponent's turn. Forgot the Fuvalos draw? What? They didn't summon from extra deck. They just put the Masquerade is attached to the Nash Knight, not on top of the Nash Knight. They didn't summon that. They did just put it in the wrong order. It was not actually summoned, the Masquerade. It was not a Fuva draw. I missed. And so I start my turn with basically everything already. And I mean, the thing is, like, for them, yeah, they can go Izuna, send Lupus, special Lupus, but like they're still under Fuva. So remaking Nash Knight, I don't know if it's worth. They can just make it on my turn.
Ja. Trophies?
Go on Imperm for turn. And this is where I get like what's it called? Like I'm playing a new deck and I'm just presented with a game state that I know I should be winning. There's like no way I should be losing this at all. And I have so many options, I start playing a little sloppy. Like I think this turn should have been a lot better than it was.
Normal summon Lucius.
I think normal summon Lucius is fine here. As a start, probably. I'm trying to grab... Okay, they warning it. Which trap did you set? I only have Horn in the deck. There's no more Flame after siding here going second, which I'm still not sure how I feel about that. I'm still not sure if that's correct to always side out a trap going second. I don't do it in the mirror match, like against other Dracotail decks. I don't side out a trap, but yeah. In against like Vanquish Soul K9 and stuff like that, I side out a trap because drawing them is really bad. But I don't know. They are really good in the long games.
Dann würde ich weitermachen mit Ketu. Ist okay? Kurz in den Friedhof schauen. Suche ich mir ein Pan und
And you can already make a guess of what's about to happen here, because what happens here is an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster of a play that I'm about to make. Which is the reason why this game is going to go a lot longer than it should. It's actually disgusting. I go or is it here? Yeah. So, all right. Let me explain. There's no explanation other than I messed up. But I go... Arthalion is Chainlink 3. Arthalion is Chainlink 3 to add back 2, which it should never be. It should never be. Like I said, this game is sloppy. This game is sloppy. I should not have made Arthalion Chainlink 3 because they can get belled. And I should also just chain Arthalion in the graveyard, dude. I keep forgetting. Every time. I told you, I forget it every time. Just make the Arthalion in the graveyard Chainlink 4, and they can't bell the Arthalion on the field. Or, even better, just go Chainlink 1 Arthalion on the field, Chainlink 2 Arthalion in the graveyard, Chainlink 3 and 4, the other 2 Dracotails in the graveyard. So... yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not mad about it because that's what Locals is for. Locals is for making these mistakes so you don't make them at big tournaments. And I'm glad I'm being able to showcase what can go wrong if you do this. But because I'm basically just missing 3 cards now because I did that. I'm missing 3 cards because I don't get my 2 add-backs from Arthalion. And I also forgot the Arthalion in the graveyard. It's super annoying. Super annoying. And the thing is, like, I still get my 2 sets here from the 2 I fused with. I think it was Mululu and Pan, but nothing I set here matters. Like, nothing I set here matters because I already have my 1 of trap. I don't play anymore, and I already have like infinite spell cards already. So yeah.
Gut. Noch eine Response habe ich nicht, nein.
And obviously, I know there's an Azuna, so I'm getting Azuna now.
Bitte? Nimmst du doch nicht? Okay.
And they go chain Azuna, and I'm like, are you sure about that? Because I just activated Mululu and Pan, and they're like, you know what? Never mind. Let me do it later. Let me do it later.
Ja, okay, dann resolve.
I'm like, okay, you good, you good.
Okay.
It's like...
Die zwei resolven. Zwei Rahus und würde dann mit dem Pan den Ripper schießen.
it's not just one of them on the chain, it's like both of them are there. It's Mululu and Pan.
Rest hier okay?
Which honestly, at this point also, the chain probably shouldn't have been Mululu and Pan, right? Like, I probably should have kept, like, because what's the point of setting 3 Rahus, really? I should have probably just activated, I can activate like one of them, just to keep the other one open. Like, I probably, because I play multiple Pans, I probably should have kept Pan open so that I can, what's it called? I can still do it later. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's also something I have to learn with Dracotail, where because all of the graveyard effects, like, you're like, oh, it's so much card advantage, right? I should activate them all, but you don't really have to, right? Like, you don't really need to resolve 5 set effects per turn if all you end up with is a bunch of dead spell cards, because eventually I might end up like in a scenario where it's my opponent's turn and I fuse away like a Pan and I can't activate it because I have no targets for it, right? So, like, you know. Oh yeah. What game is this? This is game 2. I went second, but my hand was busted. So I won game 1 going first, game 2 going second. My hand was Fuva Nib 5 mana.
5 Mana und Chaining 2 den Artalion.
Now we activate our Thalion. Let's go.
Moment, warte mal, muss kurz schauen. Ja.
Let's go. Never forget.
Ja, ich hab noch eine. Bitte? Ich hab noch die dritte Keto.
Okay.
Never forget.
Keine Response?
And we set more spells because I don't know why. I don't know why.
Dann würde ich versuchen, End of Main zu gehen. Ja.
So what I do here is I go battle phase to force the Azuna. I, on purpose, have not used Urgula yet in the graveyard because I can still chain Gulamel to that to pop something. But like I said, because I played this very sloppy, I'm not able to, it's not actually, I probably should have had game this turn like 1,000 times, but I don't. And I actually have to like deal with their follow-up. And the thing is, like, even though you look at this and you're like, oh my god, he has infinite cards, it's not actually that much. Because like out of these 4 set cards, 3 of them are completely dead because they're spells that are no interruption. And I have a Horn that's an interruption. And I have a Gulamel that can be an interruption, basically. But yeah. Horn, target Arthalion, and then Gulamel is still strong. Ooh, you know what? That's a good play. I didn't see that play. Horn, target Arthalion, chain Gulamel, pop Lupus so it gets banished. I did not see that.
Versuchen, in die Battleface zu gehen.
Dann End of May Lupus.
Ja.
Yeah, Horn in general is a card that I haven't been using optimally yet either, because I'm too focused on trying to bounce my opponent's stuff, and then like they play around it obviously because they know it's there. Yeah. Here I'm just checking when, because I know Nash Knight has an effect where it can't be destroyed by battle, but it's only when there's a a number monster on the field. So I'm still threatening the Nash Knight here with the attacks. And so I just move battle phase and they're forced to use the Nash Knight here and I can then run over it. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of things in these games that I could have done better, which I think is cool. I think that's a good thing to realize. Is that even I, when I'm learning a deck, I'm constantly messing up. And I do think it's very, it is very, very weird, quote unquote, that like with a hand as broken as mine, this game is still so close. Because it is kind of close now. I'm attacking over the Nash Knight, but I don't have that much disruption for the opponent's turn. Like, I could lose this. I have Imperm and Horn.
Main phase 2.
And I can use the Urgula to get back 5 mana, but that's about it. I don't have that much. Basically, I think I need them to play into Horn, and then I need to draw like a good monster to fuse with. Depending on what their follow-up is too, because I don't know if I know the one card in their hand. I don't think I do. Can you bring back the fusion here or not? You can't do it during damage step. I checked.
Yeah.
This is so much more valuable than a live stream. Thank you. I've learned so much. Once again, we're doing this for the first time here. This concept is something I want to improve upon in the future. But if you have any feedback, whether you're seeing this live now or you're watching it on YouTube, I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna like split this. If the matches might end up on the Plus channel or something like that. But like any feedback is very much appreciated. I'm trying to work on the concept. I'm glad people like it though. And I do think ultimately it's something that I think it's just gonna benefit me as well when I'm learning the format. Because like literally the play of Horn target your own Arthalion is not something I saw in the moment. Like obviously I've seen the other mistakes, like the Arthalion not being chain blocked properly and so on, and those are things I realized in the moment, and that's why I immediately said it when we watched it. But like I'm sure there's things that I missed as well, so it feels very helpful to me as well to basically review my own games and see like where I mess up and where I can play better and where I don't see certain options. I think it's good. I think it's good, but let me know how you feel about it too, of course.
Yeah.
So there's another Chaotic Elements here in the Imperm column, but I can't activate it. And there's another joke.
Okay.
Is water usually sold in glass bottle in Germany? They have both. They have both. So this is going to mean there's going to be another 2 level 5s here. I'm actually very happy they search another Izuna here for the Jokul to special summon, because that is the 3rd Izuna, which means that if I interrupt them moving forward in the turn, they cannot just have another Izuna in hand, free special summon, bring Lupus out the grave, free rank 5. Which I think if they have another Jokul, they should have added another Jokul here to go Jokul instead of Jokul Izuna. I'm not too scared of this yet, because I'm like, okay, sure, like the K9, they have a lot of gas here, but surely they are out of a lot of their resources for like just, you know, they're low on resources, surely, right? Were there not 3 Aquas engraved for Chaotic Elements? Bro, Chaotic Elements Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't even know it has that bonus effect. Oh. Add a level 5 or higher, then if you have 3 or more Pyros and or Aquas, you can destroy a card in the field. There's a Jokel. Is our Nash Knight and Silent Honor Dark Aquas? Yeah, then they could have popped. I mean, I didn't even know it had that bonus effect, but yeah, they could have just popped my Imperm. Dude, I genuinely, it's crazy because I am supposed to lose this game. After how I played and after how this goes, like I am supposed to lose this.
Yep.
Which is crazy considering what my hand was. It's actually crazy, but you'll see what happens. And here's where I start to get scared because they play 2 lanterns. They just go Jokel effect, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't matter. What are they gonna add? Like, whatever, man. I don't care. And it's just a second lanterns in their deck, and I'm like, oh shit.
Zwei Laternen.
Oh shit. 2 lanterns.
Ich ganz kurz überlegen.
Here I'm thinking about whether they can play around my horn by summoning stuff in defense mode, and if I should bounce now just to get value out of it. But I decide not to do it because I feel like if they summon everything in defense, they won't actually do that much. Because Nash Knight is gone with some of the stuff, so like defense position Nash Knight is not really a possibility here. Even if they play 2, they won't be able to rank it up because they won't have enough stuff left. And they actually link.
Link 2, ja.
Into Moon, and it's K9 Fiendsmith, and I find out like at the end of game 2.
Dann hätte ich Gulamel.
I remembered the graveyard effect of the Dracotail. Let's go.
Perfekt, Gulamel, weil 2 gleichzeitig auf den Friedhof gegangen sind. Ja.
Somehow I only forget Arthalion. I remember Gulamel. Alright, just killed my Arthalion.
Okay, dann hätte ich...
And then I'm gonna horn the moon.
Ja. Das ist in Ordnung.
Dann geht ein...
What channel is this on? I just uploaded it on my channel on private because I feel like that's the best way to watch it. And here I draw a second 5 mana, but honestly the only thing that matters here is that I draw a monster. I need to draw a monster to be able to fuse with the other 5 mana, so I'm happy about that. Because if I can activate my 5 mana in hand, it means I can activate the Gulamel to pop a card.
Ja.
So Lantern brings back Lupus, which is threatening a non-targetable Exceed.
3 Spells und eine Anwendung.
Richtig. Nein.
But here, I'm like, I have the option. Do I know the last card in hand? I forgot. Lantern. Elements. Because theoretically, if the last card in hand isn't a way to extend, I can go activate 5 mana here and then pop the Lantern. But I don't think I know the card. So they go for Valon here, and here I do realize what they're trying to do. They are trying to go Valon, book the Gulamel, and attack it so they can Zeus. Is what they are trying to do, but I'm not scared of it because I have Imperm, and because they have to detach off of Valon. If they go Zeus and then detach 2, the Zeus will not have the Lupus attached to it anymore, so it can be targeted. So I'm not too scared of this. I let him go battle phase. They swing over the Gulamel. The Gulamel goes back into the graveyard now instead of being banished, because it did return from the graveyard, but because it was flipped face down, it forgets, like it gets reset basically. So it goes back into the grave, which I'm happy about. And then they go main phase 2. They look at their extra deck.
Du hast den Zeus vergessen.
And they forgot to add Zeus. They forgot to add Zeus.
Wolltest du eh nicht machen, sagst du?
Wäre jetzt auch gar nicht gut.
Wäre egal, sagst du?
and then we're just joking in German. He's like, I didn't want to summon it anyways. I'm like, it would not have been that good anyways. You don't need it. and then last card in hand's Engraver, and they play anyways, bro. If they had Zeus, I just get destroyed. Dude, that Engraver does so much.
Ja, ja.
If they Zeus here, you get Gulamel back. No, I already brought it back this turn, right? So I think that's also once per turn.
Ja.
So track for Lurie. I don't interact with the Lurie here because I mean I'm just trying to imperm sequence basically. I think is the plan.
Mhm. Ja.
3900 auf 1400 Schaden, 1800 auf 3200 jetzt ist es.
Ja.
So here I'm basically just holding imperm for sequence. To try and stop the worst things from happening. And I'm like, as long as I can stop sequence from fusing, I'm probably okay. I dislike their graveyard placement. I mean, sure. Okay, it didn't really bother me in the moment. So Valon targets the unknown set, I think. Yeah, yeah. And I have imperm for sequence.
Das musst du mal lesen.
Probably worth doing 1.25 speed, a little less downtime between plays. Do you feel like that's better? I feel like it's fine. I feel like we have enough to talk about, but I don't know.
Ja.
And they also have Lupus to bring back still.
Kurz überlegen.
Let me think. What disruption can I actually still make here with the 5 mana? Because I do remember going for the 5 mana here, but I forget what I went for. What does it make?
Dann würde ich den nehmen, der kommt aus dem Friedhof, der noch nicht.
What do I make? Oh, I haven't made Arthalion yet. I'm just going Arthalion bounce.
Arthalion.
What am I bouncing though?
Dann würde ich Arthalion aktivieren.
Oh, no, this is cool. I add back my own nib. Yeah. I just go nib at the end of their line. That's the awesome thing about playing nib in this deck. Like you can just like random nib them at some point. This was actually that was a cool play I saw, I think. I played the beginning of this game until now pretty badly, but this play's pretty cool.
Okay. Dann ist das dein Trigger. Mhm. Target.
They send Arthalion with Desiree here, which isn't really necessary because like I'm gonna nib anyways. Just makes their token smaller. And I also this time I remember the other Arthalion in the graveyard because I nibbed multiple monsters at the same time. I get this Arthalion back and they basically have nothing.
Bin ich?
Das war's, ich komme nicht mehr drüber. Wird 2 Hand.
Achso, ja.
And they scoop. So that was round 1. Honestly, enjoyable match. Game 2 was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, due to the fact that my play was not optimal. But yeah, that was a fun game too. And then we go next. So this second match is the one where the end is missing because my battery died. My battery died at the end of match 2 because I thought the camera's battery was good enough for 2 matches. I hadn't really had any experience with it beforehand. Yesterday I learned about like 1 hour 15, 1 hour 30 or something is the max for it. If you go longer, it's gonna die. But yeah, luckily I have a what's it called, a replacement battery. Bro, we tied dice roll like 3 times.
Ah ja, also.
Was ist das denn? 10. 9.
Ich wünschte.
And I roll, dude, it's like I roll 9, they roll 9, I roll 8, they roll 8, they roll 10, I roll 10. And then yeah. All right, this time we are going second with just engine, but it's a pretty strong engine hand. We have 3 Dracotail names and a Poly and a Cartesia. It's a pretty good hand. They start with branded opening in the draw phase and they discard Hedgehog. So at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, probably Dracotail branded if you play Shaddoll cards, right?
Yep.
Which is also the reason why we Dracotail, branded Dracotail against Dracotail is a match that is bound to go very long. So this is why the battery died because this is a pretty long match.
Yeah. Yeah.
It isn't. I don't know. I didn't actually ask them for their deck count, but I don't think it was 60. It didn't feel like 60 when I cut it. The true goat on the left rocking DDD. There is someone playing DDD. Yeah, I did not face them this local, so we won't have a DDD matchup. But maybe at some point. They were talking about how excited they are for the new support in Doom of Dimension. So maybe I'll run into them at some point after Doom of Dimension is out with DDD.
Ja.
So we got, what did we have? We have Shaddoll Fusion for Lubellion, adding a which you send, they send Albaz and Hedgehog. No, Albaz and Mululu, my bad. Albaz and Mululu. Be honest, did you feel silly with the camera on your head? In the beginning, but you get used to it. It also helped that I was not the only one doing it. It's funny because my round 3 opponent, we're actually both recording. We both have a GoPro on our head, so that helped a little bit. They also helped me with the setup a little bit, so shout outs to them. Their channel is called Spot Squad Gaming, I believe. I've been on their channel before. They recorded one of our matches previously at one of my locals. Wait. All right, so at this point, I was actually hoping for them to go for Winda with the Lubellion, because my hand beats Winda pretty easily. I have a way to fusion summon, and I have Mululu to negate the Winda. So I'm like really happy to see the Winda, because it's gonna mean that their turn is gonna be a lot weaker, and I can easily negate it on my turn and then play uninterrupted. Almost, right? So Rahu fuses Lucius. And I can't find the other POV. They haven't uploaded it yet, I don't think. They usually, like, they edit it and everything. It takes a while. And they upload one round at a time, I think. So the good thing here is that basically the turn ends after this because this is their last special summon, so I'm not gonna have to face like too much crazy stuff. But they are able to set both traps now, which is why the Cartesia is really crucial to my hand here, right? Like if I activate Poly and they Dracotail Flame it, I actually don't have a way to fuse other than I'd have to normal summon Mululu, which is possible. But like normal summon Cartesia here is just pretty nice. And they haven't normal summoned yet, so the Lucius adding back off of Arthalion, they just normal summon it to go 5 mana. So they have 3 cards in hand, Winda. It's a pretty strong setup. Both traps, Winda, 5 mana in hand. It's pretty solid. Alright. Welcome to my hand, Nibiru the Primal Being. No, it wouldn't even have been good on their turn, to be fair, because Winda.
Normal summon Cartesia.
Quick Effect, Fuse. Sie muss sich nicht selber verwenden.
Nee.
Du hast 2 Face, kenn ich den?
Effekt Cartesia.
And when Cartesia resolves here, I'm already feeling pretty good. So they chain their 5 mana here, which I believe is because they have a Mululu in hand, which I think I know about. I think they added it back with the Arthalion on their turn. So they make this is a good play actually in the Dracotail mirror, is to respond when they try to summon Arthalion. You respond by summoning your own Arthalion and fusing away Mululu, which means that here, if I summon Arthalion and I activate it, they just chain Mululu because they're going to do that anyways, and then just negate the Arthalion. So I think I summon Arthalion here, but I just don't activate it, or I summon something else. First of all, I'm reading Mysterion. I told you when you remember when I played my first logos with Dracotail and I never summoned Mysterion or Secretarion a single time because I didn't really understand. I didn't take the time to really understand what they do and when to use them. This time I actually summoned Secretarion a couple of times, but I still haven't figured out when I want to go Mysterion. So yeah, I summon a Arthalion here. I'm thinking about the position because there is a Dracotail Horn, but ultimately the Dracotail Horn is always going to have a target here, so I'm just summoning it in attack to threaten stuff. I'm going to summon more stuff in attack position here. And the Urgula, here's the thing, the Urgula non-target spell trap pop is basically going to potentially force the Horn anyways. And I don't care if they bounce Cartesia or Arthalion here.
Chainlink 2 Mululu. Und das wär's. Das wär's.
So I just activate Mululu and Urgula here because they have Mululu in the graveyard, so I'm saving my Arthalion extra deck effect for later. And I think I'm just gonna end up, I don't know, do I pop the Horn or the Flame here? I don't think do they chain the Flame? Because of course if they chain the Flame it makes it easy. The Horn, I mean. They chain Horn, I'm just gonna pop the Flame, of course. But I don't think they chain, yeah. Ooh, right, they play Dragon. They play Dragon, so they can pop one of my sets here in response. This is a really strong 5 mana in response to my fusion, right? Like I just yeah, I think I said double K2 now. I said double K2 before because they
Der eine settet Molulu settet Keto und negiert Winder und Urgola settet Keto und ich würde die Flame zerstören wollen.
So I pop Flame, and I set double K2 because the dragon is gonna pop one of the K2s. Right? And now the only disruption that's left right now, because they've used Phimena. Winda is negated. This is just a freshly set, I think spell card. There is a Horn set, as well as a possible card they've drawn off of. No, the Flame I pop. The Horn can draw another interruption if I'm unlucky. If they draw like a Nib or something.
Lass mich überlegen. Ich würde
Mal kurz überlegen.
Du kannst nur die Kontrolle übernehmen, wenn der auf dem Feld.
So here I have a pretty neat play if they don't respond to my poly, which is what I'm thinking about. Like, I think theoretically, if I activate poly here, it's best for them to chain Horn on our here. I activate poly. Do you ask your opponent if you can film before the match? Of course, I asked all of them. So I activate poly here, and the thing is, I'm trying to make a Guardian Chimera, and the good thing here is I'm gonna fuse both my monsters away for Guardian Chimera, so I can summon the Guardian Chimera in attack position because it can't be targeted by Horn. So I'm summoning Guardian Chimera in attack mode, activate the effect. That's gonna basically eliminate the Horn without me worrying about them bouncing my own card. So I think for them, honestly, the best play is probably chain Horn on Arthalion here. Right? I think it's Horn target Arthalion in response to Poly, which makes my Poly a little bit more awkward. Right? But I think they let it go through.
Dann würde ich 1, 2, 3, 4.
And that's an untargetable Guardian Chimera.
Chainlink 1 Chimera.
But I have only Chimera here. But I think I know both cards in hand, so they can't have Ash. They do realize they can't target my Chimera with Horn here, so they do a nice play. They Horn their own Lucias for follow-up, which is neat.
Ja.
Wettert eigentlich nicht sonderlich. Lucias auf die Hand.
Ja.
Dann würde ich die Flame des Deck packen.
Ja.
Und dann du sollst die Chimera.
Das ist ein Draw.
Der kann alle einmal angreifen.
Schuss.
The Ash is a little late to the party. But I still have Rahu, so I'm feeling good. I still have Urgula. I still have Rahu.
Die da nehmen. Und
So I'm resolving Guardian Chimera. I pop 2.
ja.
Ja, da würde ich ein Branded Opening finishen.
Ja.
They protect the Lubellion with opening.
So, ich kann so keinen Frieden zeigen.
Oh no, the set is Ketu, yeah, which is better.
Dann würde ich Keto aktivieren.
Das Monster auf dem Spielfeld weder als Ziel für Karten, Zauber und Falleneffekte wählen, also so gut für den Push-Wirkung anbieten, noch als Material für Fusion, Sync oder Extinction.
Nur auf dem Feld.
Ja.
Das heißt, aus dem Feld.
And here, the nice thing is that I didn't activate the Arthalion earlier in the turn. So I can actually still bounce with the Arthalion. And I think I'm gonna bounce both Arthalions from them out of the way.
Würde eine Phimena adden.
And I haven't Rahu'd yet, right? This turn is crazy. I have not Rahu'd yet, so I can go 5 mana,
In einen
set Rahu, and then still activate Rahu.
Chainlink 1. Artalion. Target.
Du kannst keine vom Feld benutzen für die Fusing.
Die 2.
Die beiden einfach Horntrack.
Ja. Und Chainlink 2 5 Mana.
Chainlink 2 Fan. Das ist in Ordnung.
Yeah, so Arthalion bounce both Arthalions out of the way. Rahu. I love the mixed German and English. I mean, the thing is, like, we do use a lot of English terminology even in German Yu-Gi-Oh games. Like we say target and stuff like that. Like that and like, you know, all the phases are the same and so on and so forth, right? But like that's also why I'm here in post commentary, right? But okay, so 5 mana back to hand with Urgula. Activate Rahu, use 5 mana and Pan for Gulamel, and then activate Pan, and if they don't chain, I can go yeah, it's just game. It's just game. I will say something in a second here that I realized while I was going for game. So this is gonna be Chainlink 1 Pan, Chainlink 2. Do I activate Marathalion in the graveyard here finally? For once? I don't think I do. It's very on brand. It's very on brand to forget the Arthalion here. Because I forget the Arthalion, this is actually not game. Because they have Aluber in the graveyard, right? They have Aluber in the graveyard, so I think they can bring it back to just block 1 attack. Which I can play around by just remembering my stupid Arthalion in the graveyard, but I keep forgetting about it. But yeah, if I go Gulamel, like if I go Chainlink 1 Pan, Chainlink 2 Arthalion, Chainlink 3 Gulamel, I pop both, I get back an Arthalion, and then even if they remember the Aluber, I attack for game. But I forgot about the Arthalion, and they forgot about the Aluber, so I guess it's fair enough. And these, yeah. Well, yeah.
Branded. Branded Dracotail.
What shuffles with Lubellion? Oh! Did it? Maybe. Maybe you're right. Maybe they didn't have, maybe they did not have a, Aluber. Yeah. In which case, it's probably better to hold the Arthalion in the graveyard in case they have, like, nib. They nib me, I can bring back Arthalion at least. So, the thing is, my side deck was not prepared for this matchup. I'm like, Nibiru has to be terrible, right? Because, like, Winda. But I also don't have that much to side in. I'm siding in Dark Ruler because I'm trying to have outs for Winda again. Like, I mean, you know, if I don't draw Cartesia, it might be hard to perform a fusion summon into a Winda. So I'm siding Imperms and Dark Rulers. But of course they have outs to Dark Ruler if they go Dracotail Flame. But if they Dracotail Flame a Dark Ruler, then I can resolve like K2, Rahu, and stuff like that to out the Winda that way. That's why that's my logic here. And I side out a decent. I think I take out the third Nibiru as well instead of the Pan or the Lucius. Ja.
Wer beginnt? Jo.
Thomas, ich kann die Karte in meiner Bühne zerstören und dann
It's a good hand.
Okay, dann.
Actually, I don't remember much of this game, but I wonder if I could have played this game better. I'm trying to find a way to see if I can play this game better.
Aber seine Figuren angeht.
Enormes Summon Lukias Effekt.
Which imperm?
The reason why I imperm the Lukias here is because my hand can outwinda regardless. I'm not sure if this is correct or not. I haven't really reached a conclusion on that, but I felt like, you know, there's a chance they just pass after this. Because I know they play a lot of like other engines, right? They play like Shaddolls and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, imperming Lukias gives me a decent chance they just pass. Could have held it for Arthalion, could have held it for Winda. Not really sure, just made the decision on the fly. Because it's a deck I haven't played against very much. But, yeah. And they just hard drop Branded Fusion, which is pretty inconvenient for me. That's kind of annoying. So hard draw one of Branded Fusion. And that's gonna resolve.
Okay, dann würde ich die Kontrolle übernehmen. Und jetzt kommt der Defense.
But my Fuwa resolved, so I'm happy. And I draw Dark Ruler, so I'm like, okay, if they go for any Winda shenanigans or whatever, I have a Dark Ruler for that. I don't feel bad.
Hatet die ganze Zeit, wenn ich das denke. Das ist so witzig. Macht er was mit Summon? Dann würde ich Bone Party auf
Dann würde ich den
So here, they think about it for a while, but they actually just don't activate the Lubellion, which actually hurts me a decent amount because I don't care what they summon with it. I have Dark Ruler for that anyways, but they just like don't summon anything, so I don't get another Fuba draw, which is pretty annoying.
Dann kommt ein neuer Channel, 1 Englisch und 2 Horncheng und 3
Und dann würde ich damit einen Rahu aus dem Deck setzen.
They search Rahu though, so I'm like getting another draw from that at least.
Ja. Okay, dann sende ich von der Hand
selbst und poppe die beiden.
Squamata.
Oh. And they got hella shit all.
Wenn ich noch was von der Hand reinballern will. Draw vom Deck.
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to play around with the Imperm on the Lukias. Like all bunch of Shaddolls in hand, all dead cards. Right? Second pan is unfortunate.
Für einen Arthalion. Ja. Dann würde ich sagen, Chaining 1 Arthalion. Target 2 Männer. Mululu. Und Squamato. Ja. Chaining 2. Mululu, Chaining 3.
Lulu war schon.
Mululu war schon. Ich darf nur die 4 Männer ansagen.
Ja.
Chaining 2 2 Männer. Chaining 3 Beast. Chaining 4 Squamato.
Ja.
Yeah, massive. The chain links when you summon Arthalion are always hella confusing. Because it's like, on the one hand, you're trying to keep track of all the effects you're activating. On the other hand, you're trying to keep track of all the monsters you're targeting with Altharion. So you're putting stuff in like all kinds of places. Like the beast just chilling on the field at the moment.
Aber es hat ja ganz gut funktioniert mit dem, was ich hatte.
Da würde ich in der neuen Chain den Hedgehog ansagen.
Ja.
Now it's gone.
Ja.
And it's actually, the way this has turned out is actually kind of unfortunate for me with my hand, because they literally just didn't make a board because I Fuva'd. So my Dark Ruler is absolutely useless right now, but they have hella resources in hand. And I draw, the Magnamud would have been so cracked if I had it one draw earlier. if I drew Magnamood in response to, like, when they summon Arthalion and I can Magnamood already to banish one of the targets and activate the effect and search, it would have been so good.
Stand by main.
And it's actually kind of weird here. I honestly, I don't know what I start with. Because okay, instead of trying to guess what I do start with, let's talk about what I should start with. I basically know their entire hand right now. There's one unknown draw from Beast, but they have like a Phimena in hand and a bunch of Shaddolls. Should I start with Rahu to see if they negate it with Flame, or should I start with Mululu and try to like get rid of the Flame without triggering it at all? I think probably just normal summon Mululu is probably the play here. I think I go Rahu though. And then I have to normal summon Mululu anyways, because of course they're going to negate Rahu. Yeah, I should have started with Mululu. Oh, maybe I do. Do it! Do it! No! No! I forgot what I did. 9! Nah. Okay. Dude, I baited myself. Yeah, of course they flame it, yeah. Of course they flame it. Nah, I should have held that. I should have held that.
Yep. On-Rest irgendwas? Normal Summon Mululu. Würde ich gerne den Effekt von Mululu ansagen.
Gonna make my turn harder. Because now I'm like using Mululu. I'm fusing away I can fuse away 2 Dracotails, but they actually they do the same thing here, where they go Chain Phimena and fuse away Squamata and Mululu again. It's the same thing that they did in the first game. Here it's gonna hurt me a lot more because I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough pushes to actually like really play through this super well. Because like if I make Arthalion here, they can just negate it with Mululu. I think I end up making Secretarion to stop their Arthalion from activating. I think that's what I do. Right, because they summon... Or can I? No, I can't. I don't think I have a spellcaster. I thought about it, but then I realized I couldn't do that.
Bei mir geht Mululu und Pan.
Yeah. Mysterion here would have been decent, or Secretarion, because they then they couldn't activate their Arthalion.
Chainlink 2 Mululu.
Mululu is Mululu is Dracotails only. Okay, never mind. Then it has to be Arthalion there. And then once again, I don't think I activate it because they're gonna negate it anyways. This Dark Ruler feeling really bad right now. But I'm happy. I think they target a Did they not target a Dark with Arthalion? Probably not, otherwise I would have changed Magnamood. And here, spoilers, this is the match where my GoPro battery dies because this match goes on for a very long time. And we also, this match goes very, very close to actual timeout. I probably should have scooped it up around here. But I'm stubborn. I'm like, I have a K2. I'll play into the... I probably should have scooped around here. Most likely.
Irgendwas und Pan.
Most likely I should have called it a day here. And go next.
Gehst du mal ins Deck?
Wahrscheinlich schon, ja. Pan schießt. Den Dubellion. Ja.
Target einen der beiden Creatures.
Ja.
Alright, 1k2 dice to Dragon. And I'm like... It's like... This is very playable if I just have like a live card instead of the Dark Ruler, or if I have a Dracotail in my hand that isn't a duplicate that I can still use. Maybe there's a world where I can come back, but it's I don't know. Because I already used my Rahu. I'm not sure. Should have gone 2-2. I mean, yeah. If I played two, if my opening hand had a Urgula, I win this game. I win this game for sure. Yeah, because I don't activate Rahu. I just go normal summon Mululu, activate Mululu, use away Urgula, pop Dracotail Flame, and then resolve Rahu, and I probably win the game. Yeah. If I had Urgula here, it would have for sure. Yeah. But yeah, here I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like I'm activating shit. I should just
Target Phimena.
I should probably just go next. I fuse away Magnamut, and then I add it back to hand, which makes no sense because now the only thing that happens is now they know I have Magnamut, and that makes sense.
Ja.
Und Chaining 2 die Phimena.
Und zwar die Family. Das ist in Ordnung.
Should have just been a 2 material or a stallion. Is it cringe to watch yourself misplay? A little bit, but I do think it's important to improving, so I don't mind it.
Battle Phase. Atalia.
Especially when it's locals. But yeah.
Main 2.
In general, I think reviewing your own gameplay is very good at getting better. And not just like the plays itself, but also just like the other stuff. Like, for example, now that I'm watching this game from the outside, I do see that at this point I should have gone to the next game. At this point, like even like 2 or 3 minutes ago, I should have called it a day because they clearly have too many resources for next turn. I can't really get my engine going. The Dark Ruler in my hand is never gonna do anything, and like they are too far ahead for me to do that. And like, in the moment, I didn't realize that. In the moment, I'm like, you know, maybe I like, yeah, I have a Magnamut, I have a trap set, like maybe I can do it, but it's like I mean, my hand isn't like terrible here, right? Like I have Phimena with Mululu, I have Magnamut. It's like But yeah, from the outside, it's probably better to just go game 3 and go first with enough time.
Ja, lass uns das dritte gehen.
Which I do now. But like the last 3-4 minutes, nothing really changed. Going first, I just put all the engine back in. And going first, I think I also put the Nibiru back in because I do have to side out Dark Ruler and Fuva. Nibiru is not my favorite card to have in the deck here, but I think when you go first, it's probably more realistic. Like you make a board, you Nibiru behind it.
Im ersten meinst du?
So here I realized like I have to take out the Dark Ruler, so like Nibiru is the next best thing in my side deck that I have to replace it with. So the Dark Rulers go for Nibiru. Worst case, they're just the material for Arthalion. So it's like, it's just better to have a monster instead of a spell.
dann ist okay.
Wait, die sagt als Ziel wählen, weil die Tage bewegt.
Achso, okay, dann geht's sowieso. Okay, dann ist okay.
Weil dann würde ich meine englische Ziel wählen.
This game 3 is also this game 3 also has a very important learning in there. You'll see in a second.
Englisch poppen.
Sorry.
Alles gut.
Dann habe ich auch die Verbote.
Wird das irgendwie sein anderes?
Das?
Ja.
Nee, das wird nicht. Okay. Also sein, genau, Aktivierung kommt jetzt erstmal.
Where do you get your playmat? It's from the OCG. I got it through a friend from the OCG. It was like a they got it at some tournament. My hand is a banger here. Look at that hand. It pushes through everything.
Stand by main. Ich würde mit Patchwork anfangen. Okay.
Link me the tweet people talking about pile shuffling. Oh yeah, I did see that. People are arguing about pile shuffling again. I guess but even though I do it, as you can see in these locals videos, people are right. A pile shuffle is not a proper way of randomizing your deck. The reason why I pile shuffle is I want to make sure my deck has the right count. That's it. Like I shuffle a little bit. I do a quick pile shuffle to make sure my deck has the right amount of cards. So I didn't like lose a card or like, you know, I don't know, your opponent attaches a card with Nash Knight or some shit, forgets to give it back. So I just do a quick pile shuffle to make sure I have the correct number of cards, but it does not replace proper shuffling. Isn't it faster to just count the side deck? No, because what if a card is missing? It's not in my side deck. It's like my opponent took it or it fell like to the ground or some shit like that. Like you should count your side deck too, but it doesn't guarantee that you like didn't drop a card while playing or something like that, you know? So I still count my my deck during the pile shuffle, but you still have to properly shuffle, of course.
Ist fein. Dann würde ich eine Cartesia nommeln.
Das geht klar.
Effekt Cartesia.
Effekt Cartesia.
Neuer Chain. Getting Effekt und Special. Getting Effekt und guten Stiefel auf die Hand. Stiefel Effekt zum
Das ist in Ordnung.
Stiefel Effekt zum Special.
So this hand is obviously gonna try to go for the Crowley board here. And I think my hand is good enough to even go for the Kaliga line here. Do you say Cartesia differently when you're speaking German? Yes. Germans call it Cartesia, not Cartesia. Here it's probably better to go K2 for Phimena and then use the Phimena to make the Zoroa, just in case of retaliating C. In my mind, it's like I can hold K2 to see if they use like a Phimena of their own, so I can use it as a fusion spell, but ultimately probably not going to be the case. So it's probably better just K2 for Phimena here. Well, I think I do activate Poly. Dude, I keep debating myself because I think about these things.
Der negiert Monster-Effekte. Und equipt sich
I summoned it in defense here. There's a lightning storm. Don't know if there's much reason to it.
Ich hab
Summon okay? Perfekt.
So equip the Artemis. Don't search yet because I'm planning to make
dagegen nicht so gut, weil der macht noch ein Target.
I'm planning to make Kaliga, of course.
Keto.
Das ist okay.
Ach, auf der Hand gedacht.
Ja, ich hab ihn nicht gesucht.
And now I'm gonna K2 for 5 mana and then activate Rahu. And then Rahu is gonna fuse 5 mana and Urgula. That's gonna give me both traps. And then at the end of all of that, I can use Artemis to search Crowley to make Kaliga. I think besides I think I should have switched the order in which I used 5 mana fusion summon. Actually, no, I didn't even use 5 mana to fuse, right? Maybe it was fine this way.
1, Urgula, 2, 5 Mana.
Yeah, this turn 1 I think is fine. Yeah.
Ja, kannst du auch nochmal fragen dann später. Dann hätte ich Urgula-Effekt auf 5 Mana.
It's important, it is very, very important you activate Urgula before you make the Kaliga. Because if you don't, then you're gonna play into Nibiru like crazy.
Dann hätte ich... Artemis-Effekt.
So now we go Artemis, special Crowley basically. I mean, add Crowley, special summon itself.
Dann hätte ich Crowley-Effekt.
And now I present to you
Crowley-Effekt.
in the upcoming seconds or minutes,
Fusioniert einen...
I present to you a masterclass of how a game that should have been over in 30 seconds is going to take a lot longer than it needed to be. Because there's no way they should have beat this endboard. There's no way this game should have even been remotely close, but I'll show you how I managed to actually make it close.
Ja, genau. End of Main. Endphase Cartesia. Dann deiner.
Jetzt bin ich in Hand.
So this is the best case endboard for this deck, right? So what we have here is Zoroa to negate a monster effect. And that monster effect is going to be their only monster effect for the entire turn because we have Kaliga. So Kaliga says only one monster effect, only one attack. We can negate their only monster effect with Zoroa, and if they try to attack over the Kaliga, we can bounce with Dracotail Horn, which means that their only attack for the turn has been used, so they have no way of outing the Kaliga with monsters. And for any spell cards, we have the Dracotail Flame. And even if they manage to out the Kaliga, right? Think about this. Even if they have Imperm here, for example, is like, I have Zoroa, I have Gulamel, I have both traps, I have Magnamut in hand against the branded Dracotail deck, I have a 5 mana that can fuse with another Dracotail in hand to make an Arthalion. That Arthalion can add back Crowley from the graveyard, and then I can special Crowley, and Crowley can fuse with the Cartesia to make the Iwas, which is a Snatch Steal. So even if they can out the Kaliga here, I have like everything. So I show them real quick what they know in my hand. And here it goes.
Das ist auch eine Monsterkarte, ja.
Das nur einen Schutz aktivieren.
Ja. Überhaupt versuchen zu aktivieren.
Ja, Normal Summon und Tanzen und Beschreibung. Schnell. Höchstens beschreiben. Dann muss ich erstmal. Aber den muss ich danach.
Ich dachte, weil ich vielleicht eine Summon beantworten würde.
Weil ich beispielsweise sehr viel
dass dein ja gar nicht die On-Summon-Effekte.
Vor allem kannst du durch meinen TP dann
If someone asks you next turn about what's in your hand, would you tell them? At locals, yeah. At like big events, no. Alright, so they start with K2. And let's I'll let you know why I'll let you know why I let this K2 resolve, right? In my mind, I'm playing this deck for the first time. I haven't really messed around with how people attempt to break this board and so on and so forth. But in my head, it's like, okay, they activate this, they can fuse into whatever they want. I don't really care about it because they can only activate one monster effect, right? Like, even if they fuse away like the craziest shit, I can just negate with Zoroa the one thing they fuse away and then call it a day, right? So that's my reasoning for letting the K2 resolve. I don't know if you agree with me on that initial reasoning, but just watch what happens. Just watch what happens.
Ja, okay, gut, auf den Monster-Effekt bin ich ja auf jeden Fall.
Ja.
Ja, genau.
Dann hätte ich mir einen Kahn auf die Hand, würde ich gerne fusen. Mit dem
Mululu to grave and then they play. Well, the thing is, like, I can negate the Mululu, right? I can negate the Mululu with the Zoroa. And they cannot chain block it because they can only activate one monster. But there is something I forgot about. And it's gonna show up in a second. That's gonna make this a lot worse for me. Because they
Ich hab getrollt. Muss ich da aktivieren, aber ich war so ein bisschen versteift auf den Herald.
They make Secretarion Dragon. They make Secretarion Dragon. And now they go Chainlink 1 Pan, and I try to negate it with Zoroa, and they're like, no, that guy's a spellcaster. And I'm like, oh no! Oh my god, dude. I get absolutely smoked. Look what happened. They summon Secretarion in defense position, so I can't out it. So basically, my board of infinite interruptions is now basically no interruptions anymore, because I can't use this to negate, I can't use Gulamel to pop, and most of the stuff in my hand is also involving summoning dragons or spellcasters. Like, this Secretarion just destroys me, and I didn't see it coming, because this is the type of thing, and this is why I'm glad we're doing this, because this is the type of thing that happens to you once, and then never again, right? This is the type of thing that you encounter one time, and then you know, okay, I have to negate K2 every time they do it when I have Kaliga, because they can make Secretarion. I'm double checking here to see if K2 can make Secretarion. I'm scrambling.
Das stimmt wohl.
But yes, they can.
Der Pan. Okay.
So I get absolutely cooked by the Secretarion here.
Nur für mich.
And then it's like, I ask them, and they're like, is it two-sided? And they're like, no, it's just for you. I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's chill. Awesome.
Ja.
And there goes Kaliga. In reality here, yeah, no, it's so cooked, because I was thinking I could actually use 5 mana. No, I can't. It's so cooked. It's so doomed. I just have to hope. And then Shadow Fusion. I'm like, okay, well, I have Flame for the one set card, but then they activate Shadow Fusion at me. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to Flame that. I'm not letting that resolve. And I top deck Urgula.
Durch 5 Mana aktivieren.
So I top deck Urgula, which is no longer at the bottom of the deck because I used the Magistus search after, and that lets me pop the set card. I don't know exactly when the recording is gonna cut off because yeah. And here I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own Secretarion Dragon.
Und auch nur gespecial sind die Städte sind das ist wenn du mit Lucas einmal gesagt hast,
To stop them from making like a big Arthalion. I'm gonna set follow-up. I still have Rahu set. Not Rahu. I still have Horn.
ja. Dann würde ich und dann würde ich versuchen, den Effekt abzusagen.
Ja.
Okay, dann werde ich den...
Their hand is really strong. Their hand, honestly, even if I flame the K2, no, I just win if I flame the K2. Oh, never mind. Mululu fused with Dragon is so disgusting.
Ja. Da würde ich gerne sagen, ein Molulu, 2 Dragon, Target und das Set Spawn.
Als ich das letzte Mal mich spielen können, habe ich hätte es nicht gehört,
Ja.
And here, this is I don't know why I'm doing this, but once again, I keep forgetting that I can horn my own cards. You definitely horn your own Gulamel here to draw a card and keep the cycle going, because now both of my traps are in the graveyard. This is not good. I should have just bounced my own Gulamel, drawn a card, and had follow-up for next turn. Like, way better. Like, my entire cycle is broken now. What did they use to fuse? They fused with a they fused with Molulu normal summon. So their hand was 5 mana, K2 Shadol fusion, Molulu Dragon. Yeah, that was a pretty good hand, but I still should have beaten it with the board instantly. It's going to be a little anticlimactic because, like I said, the battery I think is going to die soon because this match is not going to go on for too much longer. But I'll see where exactly it's going to cut off. But we are towards the end of the match. So they activate Arthalion here to add back a Squamata to try and probably lock me with Winda next turn. So I'm banishing the Squamata here to prevent the Shadol in hand. Unfortunately, I can't activate Magnamut because of the Secretarion Dragon. Wait, are you still on an iPhone 12? I don't know what iPhone I have, and honestly, I think it's super cringe to care about that. I have no idea how old it is. I couldn't even tell you what number. Does the camera not alert you when the battery is low? It probably does. Maybe I just didn't hear it because there was noise at locals. Here we're just double checking whether the Zoroa, because it's equipped with the Artemis, has any sort of like protection or whatever. But I don't think it does.
Ja.
Mit dem Lucius aber ich finde auch Locals finde ich ein bisschen Quatsch. Auch, also auf Level 100 oder so wirst du niemanden finden, der irgendwie sein Deck nicht kennt oder neu im Spiel ist.
Magistus is out in TCG. Yeah, you just don't. We don't have Spoon. It's the only thing, but we have Crowley and the new fusions and everything. It was in Battles of Legends. We just don't have Spoon. We don't know when we're gonna get Spoon. It's weird because Spoon is like, Spoon would be perfect for this format because it feels like Dracotail is like slightly less powerful than the other decks. Just slightly. It's still good. But like, Spoon existing would make it like good. You mean Spenta? Yeah, I mean Spenta. Tonight we might know if Spoon is imported. Are we getting the what's it called? Oh look at me remembering Arthalion in the graveyard. Look at me. Goated behavior. Let's go. Are we getting Doom of Dimension announcements later today? Oh no, that's where it cuts off. Okay, so the battery died here. What ended up happening was my hand is pretty gas. So my hand is Patchwork, Cartesia. They end up clearing my board partially. They are locked into fusions, so they can't really do much else here. So I start my turn with like 2 monsters on the field already. I think I draw a Dracotail name for turn. There was not much time left ultimately. So I do think this game, because I scooped game 2 too late, this game would have been a double loss from if we had kept playing. But when I started playing my next turn and my opponent realized they were going to lose, they did scoop it up before we hit timeout, which was very nice of them. They could have gone for a double loss if they, if they wanted to. But basically, I think it's like I have Cartesia, I have Patchwork, I have a set Rahu or K2, I forget which one I got, and I have like 2 monsters on the board already when I start my turn, and like I draw like a pan or something, and as soon as I like, they see what kind of engine hand I have, they scoop it up. But this match would have been a double loss otherwise, because I honestly, it's on me though, because first of all, I should have scooped game 2 sooner, and second of all, there's no way I should have let them do this much with the end board I had. There's no way I was supposed to let this K2 resolve, right? When I made Zoroa, Gulamel, Kaliga, I should never allow them to make Secretarion Dragon so early. Like, there's no way I should have allowed that. So, yeah. Honestly, that was just on me. Yeah. So that was the second round. I do think this was the most fun round of the 3. I think this was a pretty fun match. Dracotail versus Dracotail in general is pretty fun. For the next one, as you will see in a second here. Where was it? This next one is also going to be a little scuffed. Excuse me for some technical difficulties, because I was doing it for the first time. But where is it? This one starts in the middle because I forgot to edit in one of the parts. We're going to have to watch it in Google Drive.
Nee, weil ich habe mit 78% angefangen, erste Runde. Bei 46 dachte ich so locker. Aber dann hat Dracotail Mirror ein bisschen länger.
And this is the one I referred to earlier. This is shoutouts to Spot Squad Gaming. I guess you can see their perspective over there, because they are also recording with a GoPro. So it's a GoPro mirror match.
Kann man sich beide Perspektiven angucken.
It's a GoPro mirror match. The quality, if I watch it on Drive, is a little worse. So the next 10 minutes are gonna have slightly lower quality. So we go second in game 1. The hand is Rahu, Patchwork, Mululu, Pan, and Ash Blossom. Pretty high quality hand, especially for going first, but we are going second. And they normal summon Parlor Dragon Maid. Don't worry, the quality is gonna get better in a second. As soon as we move back into the YouTube video, it's just GoPro records, I didn't know this, but GoPro records in segments. Like it's not one long video, it splits it up into segments. And when I put them all together, I forgot to put this one in. I don't know why, it slipped by. I don't know, but yeah, that's why it's not in the YouTube. So I'm ashing the Parlor Dragon Maid here because the Dragon Maid cards, in case you're not familiar with it, are actually quite crazy. Like you actually do a lot of stuff with Parlor Dragon Maid now, because what you end up doing is you go normal summon Parlor, send Lore Par, and then you contact fuse into the new Dragon Maid fusion monster. I don't know its name, unfortunately. And that one then special summons one Dragon Maid from your deck, which usually you summon Chamber Dragon Maid, and then Chamber Dragon Maid searches you a spell trap, which you can get the Dragon Maid fusion spell, which can actually summon any dragon fusion monster. So you can also summon like Arthalion and stuff like that. So a really good version of the deck too. The reason why I decided not to play it yesterday is because it's a lot more normal summons, which I think makes the deck a lot more vulnerable to hand traps. When you like normal summon one, you get hit with a hand trap and you might just have too many normal summons in hand and you can't play. Which ironically is exactly what happens here. I ashed the Parlor and they pass turn. And my hand at this point is absolutely cracked. I have Rahu, Patchwork, and Lucius. So 3 plays basically, 3 pushes. So I start with Patchwork. And they decide to ash it, I believe. I mean, Patchwork's scary. You kind of have to ash it. So they ash Patchwork, and I go normal summon Lucius next. And they Veiler it. And so this is already, you can already see like one of the things I was afraid of with the Dragon Maid version of the deck that they're playing here is like, if you just play a lot of normal summons and a lot of hand traps, your ability to push through your opponent's hand traps is going to be very dependent on basically hard drawing Phimena or Rahu. Or K2, of course. If you don't draw those, you're gonna be in a tough spot to even find a play, right? And unfortunately for them here, I have Rahu as well, so I just have like 3 pushes, and they only have 2 hand traps. So I'm just like, I'm cooking now. Here I fuse with Pan. And I think about whether that's optimal here, because I'm like, this Pan, like I don't really want to pop the Parlor yet, because if I pop the Parlor, then I can't use K2 to fuse. So I'm like, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I don't want to pop it, in which case I probably shouldn't have fused with the Pan in the first place. I'm adding Ash back from the graveyard here because they only had 1 play last turn. And so I really like having Ash as a safety measure in case I can't go for game this turn. It should be game here. Another reason to not pop the Pan is potential Fuvalos in their hand, which is a very likely card. But I only realized this in hindsight because, spoilers, their hand is double Fuvalos here. I didn't think about it at the time. The reason why I didn't pop the Parlor is because I want to use K2 to fuse. That's the reason I'm not using the pop. But it ends up being very good for me here because their hand is double Fuva. So I'm just gonna end up putting enough damage onto the board to just attack over the Parlor. So I've used Mululu and Phimena from hand here. And I make Secretarion Dragon for the first time. Oh, my internet gone? No, the stream is fine, right? Where is the... Where's the video? Oh. Okay, the sabotage is crazy. The sabotage is crazy. My fiance has deleted the folder that I used on Google Drive for the videos because she thought it was all on YouTube. And she was just trying to clean up the Google Drive. It's fine. It's only 10 minutes of footage. Can you recount what happened? Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's 2 things, right? The first thing is they were recording with a GoPro. So maybe it's all a setup to promote their channel because they are going to upload this, their POV probably at some point in the next couple of days. So I guess if you really want to see it, Spot Squad Gaming on YouTube. But I mean, you just saw game one, right? Game one, I just won with basically a crazy. I mean, they just bricked basically. I mean, they didn't break, but I ashed their one play, and then my hand was crazy, and I just killed them. And then this is the start. This is game two. I'm going second, and what happened is I ashed one of their starters. I forgot what it was, unfortunately, and I can't check right now. But as you can see from my graveyard, my hand was Ash, Phimena, Pan, Lucius, and one other card. I ashed one of their starters. This time around, they could still play. And they end on Arthalion, Gulamel, I think both traps. And I go end of main phase, I go Phimena, Fuse, Pan, and Lucius. And I decide here to make, instead of make this, I'm not sure about this, but instead of making an Arthalion, I actually make a Gulamel. Because my thought process is like, okay, I'm going to summon Gulamel in defense mode. And then I'm just going to pop the flame with the Gulamel so that I can just set both spell cards and they can't negate it with flame. That was my thought process here. So I'm skipping the Arthalion here, which is a little risky because I won't get these two back to my hand, right? Honestly, in hindsight, maybe just summoning Arthalion and adding back Ash Blossom to negate one of the traps is also just probably good enough, right?
Ich hätte, wenn du keine Trigger hast, gehe ich nicht von aus, hätte ich Chainlink 1, Pan, Chainlink 2,
Yeah.
Lucius.
Yes.
So I'm going Chainlink 1 Lucius, Chainlink 1 Pan, Chainlink 2 Lucius, and then because they don't respond to it, I chain Gulamel to pop the flame. Right, and I'm gonna get Rahu and K2.
Dann hätte ich Rahu und Ketu und würde
Rahu,
mit dem
K2,
Pan-
Gulamel on the board. I start my turn like that. It is pretty good. And Pan also pops their Gulamel, which is pretty nice. So at this point, they only have a set horn and nothing else, right? So I'm like, and I have a patchwork in hand. And I draw a Dracotail name, so I'm just the best, apparently.
Muss ja lernen, schnell zu spielen.
Hätte ich als erstes ein Patchwork.
Unfortunately, because we didn't watch the last couple of minutes, I don't know exactly what's in their hand. I assume there's a Phimena there. I assume there's a Phimena.
Hätte ich eine Ketu.
Right, they Ash K2. This time they let the patchwork resolve. I'm not too scared of locking myself into fusions early on here, though. They chain horn on their own Arthalion here. Where can you watch this video? The way I want to do this in the future, or even with this one, when I go to locals, this is probably going to be we're probably going to do this every week if the feedback is positive, which so far it's been positive. The viewer numbers on Twitch right now are a little lower than usual, but that's okay for me because this is what I enjoy at the moment. So, I mean, 1,300 is still a lot of people. So thank you everyone for being here, by the way. But no, I'm enjoying this. And if people are enjoying it too, then we're going to do this regularly. The way I want to do this is I'm going to be uploading like the deck lists and stuff like that, mostly on like I'm gonna upload my deck lists on the main channel, and then I'm probably gonna upload the local sessions like on the plus channel. And if there's like a really good match with some really good commentary, then I'm probably gonna upload that on the main channel as well. That way, in my head, it makes sense because it's like a combination of I show you a deck list, I explain a deck list, I explain why I built the deck this way, what I expect it to do, but then I'm not leaving it at that. I'm actually just like giving you gameplay plus commentary with that deck list, right? I think that's cool. So and That's the idea behind it. Yeah. So here, I guess they chained the horn to the Rahu to prevent me from activating Gulamel. But at the same time, they could have just let me activate the Gulamel, right? And then when I activate the Gulamel target horn, they just chain the horn anyways on the Arthalion. It's like the same outcome, but my Gulamel effect has been used already. Right? You can tell I have found a sweet spot for Secretarion Dragon now, because I finally understand how it works. Here they said in German, they're like, oh, you left both of those in? I'm like, yeah, in the Dracotail mirror, I like keeping both traps in to not hurt my grind game, because I think this matchup can get very grindy.
Ich würde gerne Mogula aktivieren auf Femina.
They still have a 5 mana in hand, so I don't know how easy it is for me to OTK here, right?
Ich würde gerne Sekretarion.
Because what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to target Lucius and Pan. And my plan here is actually to summon back the Pan in attack mode to threaten game. To force them to 5 mana. Before I go battle phase, and then I want to keep playing. And they Veiler that. And I'm like, okay, I could dodge this with 5 mana, but I don't think it's worth it. Because if I activate 5 mana here, it's also going to, like, they are going to be able to bring the Arthalion back from their graveyard and the Gulamel, right?
Kann 2 noch?
You can only fuse into Dracotails with Rahu? Can I? Hold up. Did I mess that up? You are correct. I could not have summoned this. Yeah, my bad. Rahu Dracotail. Fusion summon a Dracotail monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand. Yep, this had to be an Arthalion. My bad. This wouldn't happen in Master Duel. You're right, it wouldn't.
Ja.
It doesn't actually, it doesn't make that much of a difference. It's probably even worse to make the Secretarion here first. I probably should have summoned Arthalion first, add back stuff, and then make a Mysterion with a 5 mana. But obviously, not legal, yeah.
Dann hätte ich 1 Arthalion. Target Ash.
Couldn't happen in Master Duel because they don't have nice cards there. It couldn't happen in Master Duel for several reasons. It also wouldn't happen in Master Duel because you would have been killed by Malice by now.
Yep.
But yeah. So I haven't normal summoned yet, so I go normal summon Lucius, and then I can chain. I mean, yeah, no, I think the order here probably doesn't matter. I think the way this game went, I win no matter what. But of course, I'll definitely try to remember Rahu and Mululu can only summon Dracotails. The thing is, I tried to remember them by those are the ones that lock you into fusions. I didn't realize until yesterday that those are the ones that you have to summon Dracotails with. My hand here was pretty cracked, to be honest.
Ja. Der ist...
All right, and then we have one more round. One more round before the locals is done.
Das da?
Round 4.
Ist auch ein cooles Deck.
And it, like I promised earlier, it is the Fire King opponent. Now the situation going into this match is I'm 3-0 right now, which is, by the way, kind of crazy with how I played. Like, we found so many things I could have played better. But in some of these matches, my hands were pretty good too, I think. I got carried by the deck a little bit yesterday. I drew pretty well.
Gut heute. Fang ich an.
And I go first here. And this is what I was afraid of the entire day. Because like I said earlier, I practiced some of these combos with the Crowley before I went to locals. I looked into some lines that I'm supposed to play with the Magistus. What I didn't do is look at what I'm supposed to do when I draw the Crowley. So this is last round of the day. It's relatively late. And I drew the Crowley, which I'm not sure exactly how to operate. Because I'm not supposed to, like, that's supposed to come out of my deck when I make Artemis. So I'm just trying to I'm kind of freestyling this turn 1.
So, die Hand ist ein bisschen komisch. Muss ich kurz überlegen. Ich nehme mal eine Feimena. Und würde...
Crowley can trigger on Arthalion at. Yeah, I know. Now looking at this here, it should probably have been, or like, let's think about this. What's the line here? I go Feimena, I pitch Pan and Crowley, I go Arthalion, and then Arthalion adds back Crowley, and then Crowley can fuse into the Zoroa with the Arthalion, right? And then the Arthalion just equips the Crowley. That's probably what I'm supposed to do.
aktivieren.
First I get Fuvat, but I always have Ash for Fuva. At this locals, I think I never got someone to resolve a Fuva against me. I always ashed it.
Pan.
I think I do that play. Lucius into Artemis first? No, why? I don't need Artemis.
Fusionier Pan und Crowley.
I don't need Artemis. Because I already have the Crowley. I only play one.
Das ist das erste Mal, dass mir das passiert ist.
So I fuse into Arthalion here. And I think I do what I just said. I think I try to go add back the Crowley here.
Also das ist der einzige, den ich spiele, keine Sorge. Wenn der auf die Hand geedit wird, kann ich ihn specialen. Auf dem Feld zählt er als Alistair. Wenn er fusioniert
Alright, explaining my opponent what Crowley does because they don't know the Magistus cards.
Wenn er beschworen wird, eine Fusion von einem Invoked oder einem Magistus machen. So, dann hätte ich Chainlink 1 Arthalion. Target wäre
This time,
Feimena.
you will notice, since I got belled on Arthalion earlier, I always put Arthalion Chainlink 1.
Nehme ich jetzt den Crowley wieder, dann weiß ich aber nicht, was ich machen soll. Ich nehme mal den Crowley.
Yeah, so I do attempt to add back the Crowley with the Arthalion because I can special it out and then fuse into the Zoroa to have a monster negate. They do have Imperm for the Arthalion too, so I just get my Pan to set a spell. So I should grab Rahu here because K2 doesn't do much with this hand, I don't think. Should be Rahu.
Dann würde ich Rahu nehmen.
Wait, no, I can't activate Rahu. Right? Because I have no monster in hand.
Rahu aktivieren.
Yeah, I can't activate this. I can't activate Rahu, but they impulse it anyways.
Okay.
I think it's because I think the reason why I activate this Rahu was the same problem as the previous game is because I didn't know I had to summon a Dracotail. So I was just gonna summon like Secretarion with one from the field and one from the deck. Yeah.
Zwei Hand noch, ne? Poly aktivieren.
So in reality, this should have been a K2. I would have activated the K2. They could have impulsed the K2 if they wanted to. And then I can still poly, but yeah. I was a little afraid that this was gonna happen, but ultimately I do think this is part of the TCG and it's part of learning the game, like learning a deck. So I'm not too worried about it. You know, it happens. I messed up some stuff.
Will ich ein Sekretarion beschwören?
I do think this is what locals are for, and I think if people see this, then it's gonna help people not make these mistakes themselves, and that's good. So it's all right.
Und hätte Chainlink 1 Lucias.
So the poly here fusing away the Lucias is nice because I'm gonna be able to set a trap here. I do know they're playing Fire King, so I decide to go ahead and set. I decide between, do I get K2 for follow-up or do I get Flame for Sanctuary / Island? I think I decide to go for Island, and I think what I end up doing is I make it's a little weird of a play because it is I create no follow-up here. But I think I go Secretarion effect, revive Crowley, and then I make the Zoroa. So I have a monster negate and a spell negate, and they only right now they only have 2 cards in hand. So I target Pan and Crowley. Pan goes to the bottom. Crowley is special summoned, and then I use Crowley to fuse into the Zoroa.
Dann würde ich Crowleys Effekt aktivieren.
And then in classic Josh fashion, I forget to activate Arthalion here. Which would have been a little bit more pressure, but I forget it.
Und wenn ein Monster-Effekt aktiviert wird, kann ich eine Monsterkarte, also eine Magistus-Monsterkarte auf den Friedhof legen, um den Effekt zu annullieren und dann eine Karte auf dem Feld zu zerstören.
Okay, der Attach-Effekt ist nicht Quick-Effekt, oder?
Nein. Effekt.
You can't fuse with Secretarion, by the way. Wait, why can't I fuse with Secretarion? No, I can. This card loses 100 attack while you control this fusion summoned card. Your opponent cannot activate the effect of special summon monsters. Oh, target a dragon, special summon 1. Wait, why not? Oh, Mysterion is the one. Okay. Mysterion. The Dragon Crown cannot be used as fusion. Okay, no, but this was Secretarion, not Mysterion.
Ich habe ein Monster Negate und ein Spell Negate.
Not illegal for once.
Dann darfst du.
Ich müsste legal verturnen.
No, you're good, you're good. So here's like, I have a monster negation and I have a spell negation that draws me a card. So basically what I'm hoping is that they can't play without a spell. And with the Zoroa, I can essentially negate a monster effect every turn, right? Like, because I can send the Crowley to negate a monster effect, and then next turn, even if I don't draw follow-up, I can re-equip the Crowley to keep negating 1 monster effect per turn. Is basically the setup here. The Zoroa is actually a really good card. And they normal summon Old Connect, so I negate it by sending the Crowley, and obviously I don't destroy it because I'm not trying to get destroyed by a Garunix in hand. This also, I summoned the Zoroa in defense because like you saw earlier, I was playing next to them. I knew they were playing Fire King, so I didn't want to summon it in attack so they couldn't crash. I draw K2 off the top because I'm cracked like that. Which I activate because I get very excited when I top deck it. I activate it way too fast. Not correct here. I should have activated Zoroa first to equip the Crowley so that I can negate like an Ash Blossom now if they Ash, I have to send the Zoroa, which is not ideal.
Keto.
Das ist sehr gut.
Das ist wirklich sehr gut.
Ja.
Irgendwas hier?
Dann suche ich mir eine... Okay, was fusioniere ich denn jetzt überhaupt? Dracotail Monster in Hand.
Hast du vielleicht noch darauf zu reagieren oder sagst du dann nein?
Auf die Keto?
Ja.
Mach.
Weil ich bin mir gerade
And then, okay, here is
nur gedacht, dass es ein
they realize that I can fuse with the K2, so they activate Impulse, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's locals. Let him take it back. So they impulse my K2, and now I know that they have a fire monster in hand because they activated the Olcanix last turn. I got confused here for a second. I thought Urgula was supposed to be at the bottom of the deck, but I didn't use it on turn 1, so it was shuffled. But yeah, I let him impulse the K2, and now I use here. I realize I can also equip their monster with the Zoroa, which honestly, in hindsight, was a little bit too risky. This is a very it's a pretty intricate like interaction between these two in particular. So on the one hand, I didn't want the Olcanix to stay on the field because it's just another body that they could use to make a Link 2 or something like that. The problem is if I don't equip the Magistus to it, then if I want to negate something, I have to send itself to negate it, which would result in the Olcanix being destroyed while it's equipped to the Zoroa, and then it can activate. So it's tough here. I think the correct choice is probably to just equip the Crowley and leave this thing in defense mode. Do not attack the Olcanix, and just like hope that that's enough. But I do decide to equip the Olcanix here, which I think in hindsight is not correct. You can see I'm really considering equipping the Crowley, but then I equip the Olcanix. I still decide to not attack with the Zoroa here, because if I turn it to attack mode and they have a Garunix in hand, I can get completely destroyed if they summon a fire and then crash into my Zoroa. That's why I leave it in defense, and I'm just basically I'm trying to hold. Here I check if it can negate in the damage step, but it cannot. So I'm trying to hold and try to draw a play next turn. Which maybe the set card should have been maybe the set card should have been a Rahu, but then I don't know. So here, disaster. They draw another Olcanix, normal summon it, insta, activate effect. Freaking Dinkabui over here opens Fuva, Imperm, Impulse, Impulse, Olcanix, Olcanix. I negate the Olcanix with Zoroa. They attack me for 800. Here, I'm low-key pretty happy because they didn't realize that this Olcanix was destroyed when I negated with the Zoroa. So I'm like, you know what? That's kind of cool. That's a lot less pressure than it should be. So I'll take it. I draw for turn, and then they ask me, was this Olcanix destroyed? And I'm like, yeah, it was destroyed. You can go back and do it. Go, do your thing. The takebacks in this match are kind of crazy, but I didn't really care too much because I'm trying to play for fun.
Ja. Moment.
Here, I thought about bringing back the Arthalion with the when they make Hita. This time I actually didn't forget. This time I actually did not forget. But I was like, if I bring it back now, it just enables them to go like, I have to basically, if I summon it in attack mode, they can crash Hita, which is a disaster. And if I summon it in defense, then the Zoroa just attacks over it. So I didn't want to summon it here. I didn't want to summon it here. They link off the Zoroa into a Promethean princess. So I still don't think it's worth bringing back the Arthalion here. But here, basically, I just end up taking a lot more damage. They make the Raging Phoenix in main phase 2, and I go next. Because you already saw earlier, before I let them take back the thing, I drew in the Biru for turn, so there's nothing. Yeah. So in this, I definitely, I mean, at this point, it was late. And once again, I still didn't play this deck super well, but I should have played turn 1. I think turn 1, there was definitely a way to play through. Like, my hand was really good. There's no way I should have ended on basically nothing. I don't know. This game was weird. I don't have much in my side deck for Fire Kings when I'm going first, so I'm just siding Imperms for Fuvas. Fine. Alright, my hand going first in game 2 is pretty good. I realize at this point I left Magnamut in, but then when I'm looking at my side deck, I think maybe I should have put like a Phantasme instead. But for the most part, I don't have much in my side deck for Fire King. I don't even know what else I would have sided in. Like, I think Magnamut might be better than Phantasme, honestly, because I can search like, if I go first and I combo, I can just summon Magnamut and then search like a Pan or Urgula for the next turn, which is not bad. But yeah, my hand is really good here.
Würde ich mit einem Patchwork anfangen. Normal Summon Lucas Effekt.
Can you do a deck profile? I want to see the text that you used. I did make a deck profile earlier on stream. It's going to be on YouTube as well, alongside the locals games. Here, this play in hindsight is probably not very good. I use Femina here to play around Retaliating Sea, but you'll see in a second I'm getting mega punished by Imperm, because I will get Impermed on the Arthalion here, which is not... I mean, you could argue the Imperm here isn't that bad because I still have a lot of gas in my hand. But at the same time, I don't know. Like the Retaliating Sea would have been pretty bad, so maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay to use the Femina here. So here we pivot into Magistus. We poly into the Zoroa.
Bitte? Sie ist Magistus, ja.
Ja. Nie werden Sie das in dem Deck, gehen wir dort für.
Perfekt.
Der Effekt ist wahrscheinlich die negative.
Perfekt.
We use it to grab the Magistus. I don't really feel like making Kaliga here instantly. I'm just trying to add a monster to my hand. that I can fuse with the Rahu. That's why I use the Poly like this, the Artemis like this. I Rahu, I have Zoroa to negate Ash Blossom. They drew Impulse a second time. I get kind of destroyed by this. It's kind of awkward. Like now my hand it's pretty bad. I didn't have access to Urgula because I should have probably grabbed an Urgula with the Lucius earlier to play it safe, because then I could have now added back a Phimena. I fused with Malulu because I was trying to get it back to my hand with Arthalion. Didn't quite work out. The Imperm Impulse combo hit me pretty hard here, the way I played it. Which I probably should have played around a little bit better. Because I had installations against most other hand traps because I have Zoroa here. So I probably should have played around Imperm Impulse better. The way it is now, I have crazy follow-up. Well, it's not that crazy because the Patchwork is dead because I drew a Poly. But, yeah.
Ich würde mal Magnamut aktivieren auf Agent Chain.
You can either Kaliga or Secretarion here. I play this second game relatively poorly. Because I don't think I fuse at all here with the Magnamut. I didn't see the Secretarion option here. So I go, what happens? I go Secretarion, I revive, but then what? Like I go Poly, fuse Magnamut plus Crowley into Secretarion. And then what does Secretarion revive? Because I've already searched with revive Mululu, right? Yeah, revive Mululu. But then I have... Yeah. Ah, dude, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Because I can go Poly, Magna Crowley into Mysterion. Mysterion revive Mululu. End phase Magnamut search Pan or Urgula. And then on their turn, I can go Mululu fuse with itself and Pan or Urgula. Ah. Oh, it's so good here. I don't see it. Yeah, I didn't see it. Oh, I didn't see that.
Würde in die Endphase gehen und Magna resolven.
Sollte ich kenne jetzt Full Hand Knowledge.
Nee. Sind noch Sachen dabei, die du nicht kennst.
Ich meine Hand Knowledge.
I did not see that.
Na, du weißt ja nicht, was ich gesetzt habe.
Ich meine, was wir jetzt auf der Hand machen, das meinte ich.
We learn and get better. No, it is fine. I'm still a little disappointed with how I played this locals. I know it's just locals, and I tend to play worse when I'm not under pressure because it is just locals. But I do think that's a pretty poor excuse. It was my second time playing Dracotail, so I'm learning, and that's okay. But still, you know, I do like to hold myself to a higher standard than this. I think the content is still good, so that's why I'm happy. I'm still happy because we're talking about all the things that could be improved, which I think is good. Which is why I'm super happy we're doing it this way and not just like just the recording and that's it. So this, by the way, this is an absolute Dinkabui hand. Imperm, Impulse, Extrav, and see what happens after.
Ist okay.
See what happens after.
Ja, ich überlege schon mal. Ich würde auf jeden Fall gerne in die Main Phase.
Draw 2, back to 5 cards in hand. Imperm my Zoroa. Chill. Normal Olconix effect. The crazy part is I can't even complain about it because my opener could have been so much stronger. I probably should have easily beaten this if I had set up properly. I just didn't really see the full potential of my deck yet. Their hand is crazy, but it's not really an excuse. Does the Link 2 stay equipped to Zoroa if it's imprimed? Ooh, that's a good question. It might actually fall off. It might fall off. So here, what they're thinking about is, because I bluff set the patchwork, I think they're playing around Dracotail Flame hard draw. So they decide to not go for Sanctuary. I think they go for Skyburn. If I remember correctly, they decide to, yeah, they don't want to go for Sanctuary.
Dann will ich gerne das Skyburn spielen. Ich wähle Ulkanix und dein.
So they're trying to force the horn here, I guess, which, I mean, in hindsight, they could have also just activated a Sanctuary here.
Noch was targeten.
Like, that was kind of gonna be the same thing.
Hat der Magistus irgendein Destruction?
Because if I actually have Flame or Horn, it's actually pretty bad for them here. Because I just negate the Skyburn and they don't get to pop to bring back the Garunix, but of course it's just a bluff patchwork.
Okay. Dann in der neuen Chain habe ich Garunix 1, Ulkanix 2.
Ja.
I'm a little surprised actually I don't get OTK'd here. I guess spoilers. But we saw in game 1 they play the Promethean Princess Raging Phoenix stuff. Like I should be dead here. I think. They definitely have enough bodies for it. Like they can pop my Zoroa with a Kirin. And then I have a Fire Engrave for Hita as well. Like there's no way. There's no way I should live. Oh, maybe Extrav. True. Maybe Extrav got rid of like a key piece that they needed. True. Shmoshua Jid, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate that.
Ja.
Arthalion. I didn't want to use the Arthalion yet. And in this game, I actually didn't forget it. I didn't forget it because I didn't want the I didn't want the I didn't want to play into the Zelantis thingy. I wanted to summon it later. Potentially. If they still had those cards in the extra deck. But yeah, I'm pretty happy here because I survived. I'm just checking if Arthalion can come back during the damage step, but it cannot.
Dann würde ich Arthalion ansagen.
This was a super weird sequence. They link into Hita, I activate Arthalion to bring it back, and I think they negate with Arvata by destroying their Hita, or no, they Promethean Princess their Hita to pop the Arthalion instead of just keeping the Hita around and stealing my monster negate.
Ich weiß, du hast den Magistus auf der Hand, du hast Urgola auf der Hand.
Ja.
Mehr muss ich nicht wissen.
Das ist respektlos.
Der Magistus hat gesagt, er kann einmal eine fusionieren.
Magistus oder Invoked, ja.
Nee, du wolltest ja gerade Lukas noch.
Ich glaube, es sagt
Auf?
auf ihn und auf
Ja.
Er hatte 3 Infos auf der Hand in Game 1 und ich hatte jetzt 3 Mal das Karten.
Weißt du, das aktuelle Branded Fusion zu gesagt, deswegen lasse ich das noch mal.
So, right now, the only card in my hand they don't know about is the Poly. They know about Urgula and Crowley. And I top deck a Cartesia, which is a pretty good draw because it's another way to fuse. And because they don't know that I have polymerization in hand. So I'm thinking here, if I go normal summon Cartesia here and try to fuse, they might just negate it with the Arvata in the hopes that I won't be able to play after.
Normal summon Cartesia.
Sum is fine.
Perfect.
Because it's actually like the poly here doesn't actually do much into this setup, right? Because if I poly for, like, what do I poly for here? I poly for Arthalion, and no matter how I chain it, it's not going to work out because they can just go Arvata negate. That's going to pop the princess back into the graveyard. Then Garunix can come out, pop a Kirin, and then Kirin can destroy the spell that I set with like the Urgula. So it's not going to work out well for me, I think. So I'm trying to bait the Arvata first, and they do use it here by destroying the princess. And then they think about whether they bring back the Garunix here. This is what I was hoping for, because right now the Garunix does not actually threaten much, right? The Garunix here doesn't really do anything. So they decide to not bring it back because there's nothing worth popping yet for Kirin. And I think here I just go Arthalion to add back stuff. So actually, I actually do manage to, I think, turn this game around pretty well this turn, because they didn't go for game last turn, maybe because Extrav banished some stuff. But we go Arthalion here, we get to set with Urgula, and we get to add back 2 cards with the Arthalion, which is going to be a Phimena, so another way to fuse, as well as another thing to fuse with, which is going to be the Mululu. And because we fused with Urgula, we can also add back another Dracotail name with the Urgula after. So it's a pretty good setup.
Chaining 3 Princess.
Yep.
They Princess here. Why not add Crowley to summon? There's not much I can summon with Crowley at this point. The Zoroa is gone, and I don't really want to go into the Snatch Steal here. It's not that valuable. I want to get my Dracotails back online. I think this is fine. So I'm setting 1, which even if they pop it here with a Kirin, I have another fusion to get back my spells. I set a K2 here. And if they go Garunix here, they can go send Kirin and pop the K2, but then I can go Urgula, add back a Lucius from the grave, and then I fuse with Phimena into a Gulamel, which I think is exactly what's happening. They activate all of their stuff. And you say Cartesia? Yeah, I can say Cartesia, but in German, we call it Cartesia. I don't know what you want me to say. German pronunciation is different. Is that crazy to you?
Ja, aber es ist ein Effekt, das heißt, ich einen Effekt im Gegner angreife. Das heißt, Golden First brauchst du immer einen Death,
Ja.
Golden Second brauchst du den immer einen Attack, weil wenn er negiert wird, dann greifst du trotzdem.
Ich dachte, das war jetzt alles noch.
Ja.
Okay, gut zu wissen.
Ja. Ja.
Das ist auch gleich mit dem Bus wieder zurück, ne?
Ja.
Ja, ich bin mit dem Fahrrad hergefahren, ja, mit dem Bus.
So here I'm just waiting for all the Fire King stuff to finish, but I do know here that is basically the end of the Fire King interruptions. I'm just waiting for them to go through their whole like resource loop here.
Yep.
But like ultimately there is not going to be any more disruption from the Fire Kings here. The Promethean has been used, the Kirin has been used. I think the big Garunix is also in the graveyard if I remember correctly. I'm not entirely sure. But for the most part, there's not really anything left here. So I have these 3 back in hand. I have already normal summon, so I'm just going to fuse with Phimena. I'm fusing Mululu and Lucius. This could also make a Secretarion, but I think I go for Gulamel here to clear the board. I'm not entirely sure. Or I go for, you know, Secretarion is kind of cool here because I can revive Lucius. So I do go for Lucius. Yay, illegal Secretarion! Look at that. A legal Secretarion has been summoned. Isn't that awesome? All right, let's go. Alright, so neither of the spells have been used this turn, so I'm setting both. You can also revive Zoroa. I did think about that. I did think about bringing back the Zoroa here for the monster negation. Would have been pretty good too. I even thought about bringing back Magnamut. There's a lot of cool things you can do with Zoroa here. I think I go for Lucius. Yeah, I go for Lucius.
Target die 2.
Because I want a Dracotail in hand to fuse with. So I want this pan so that I can go activate Rahu or Ketu. They have an Ash Blossom for Ketu here as well. But I have Rahu here. I don't even know if this Ash was that good. But it's not. Is it game here? No. Right? I didn't miss game. So I go Gulamel, both graveyard effects. And then also Gulamel to pop. Yeah, the big Garunix is in the graveyard, so the Ulcanix doesn't do anything. So I pop the Ulcanix because it's defense mode. I clarify here, I did negate the Garunix with Mululu earlier, so the Garunix is back down to 2700.
Yeah.
Summon Arthalion? Yeah, I forgot again. This is like, at this point, this is like 10 PM or something. It's been a long day. I forgot that too. Which, maybe it is game. If I do that.
Yeah.
Do you play Cross Sheep? I do play Cross Sheep, yeah. But at this point, I'm locked out of Cross Sheep, right? Maybe I could have made it earlier.
Setze Flame und Horn.
Yeah, maybe I could have.
Der ist wieder bei 2,7 jetzt, ne?
You need to get a tattoo that says remember Arthalion on one of your arms. No, the reality is that I just need more practice, which I haven't done much in the last couple of weeks and months. It's the main thing I'm taking away from all of this. Also reviewing my own games is like I need a lot more practice. Like I have been out of the loop with TCG for a while now. But that's okay. Also now watch me find a way to lose this game from here. Because I do.
Yep.
Es gibt ja Karten, die einmal enden und einfach was anderes machen. Wenn die bei Vasallen haben, dann ist es ja nicht Edge, genau.
End of Standby?
Ja.
Main Phase?
Ja.
Ich weiß nicht, um die Uhrzeit ist nur noch eine halbe Stunde, das fährt die eine Linie nicht mehr. Ich kann schnell nachschauen.
Secretarion being 2200 here is kind of annoying. It's not 2200, it's 2800 because it only loses 100 for each of your banished cards, not every banished card. Do you play Filia Regis? I don't play Filia Regis. That would have been crazy. But I do misplay like crazy here because I use Flame on the Prosp, which is not good. I use Flame on the Prosp. I top deck Ash like crazy, which is insane, and I have no excuse for this. I have no excuse for this. It's late. I forget everything here. I forget Cartesia to fuse. I should have also horned the Onyx on effect, or I should have ashed it. But I didn't anticipate the second Skyburn.
Ja.
I ashed the island, but like, I don't know, man.
Yep.
The problem is now, the problem here is that I let them add Skyburn, which means that if they play this right, I have no counterplay this.
Take off Cartesia.
Because they crashed the Ponyx here, and I have Horn, but if I activate Horn, they chain Skyburn, and then everything jumps back out of the graveyard. But in reality, all I have to, there's so many things I can do. I can just let the Prosperity resolve, because I'm probably fine if I do that. There's not much they can get with the Prosperity that changes things, so I can just let it resolve, and then hold Flame for Skyburn, and I'm fine. I can Ash the Ponyx, and I'm probably okay, even though now I see they top deck Island, so it's probably not fine either way, but... I don't know, I messed this up badly. I was tired.
Pawn target Lucas.
So I'm using Horn on my own Lucius here. But they just Skyburn the Lucius. And then they clear my entire board. And I don't think I draw anything, because I will not draw a card with Horn here. If you don't bounce the monster successfully, you don't get to draw a card. You don't get to recycle. It's kind of a disaster. Yeah, and shoutouts to my opponent. Their hands were cracked, but they played it basically exactly how they needed to play it. They basically, something happened this round which didn't happen as much in the previous rounds, is they exploited basically all of my misplay, which was pretty good.
Yep. Yep.
Here too, I think if they go Chainlink 1 Garunix, I go Chainlink 2 Arthalion, Chainlink 3 Gulamel Pop Island, I'm probably still fine. I forgot it too. Yeah, this game's pretty bad. And I knew it was bad while I was playing it too. I was noticing I wasn't playing well. But I don't know, I was too tired, and in my head I was like, you know what, it's gonna be good content because we can all learn from it. So whatever.
Dracotail Namen zu fusionieren gefüllt haben.
Wie viel hat das? 2,8?
Dragon Mage spielt, hatte ein bisschen die Normals am Boden, das ist schlecht. Dann immer noch 3 Vermänner, beste Karte.
Yep.
Gefolgt von 3 Fahnen, weil ich trotzdem Dracotail in einem Hafen fusionieren kann.
Oh, and with that, my entire board is gone, right? Kirin destroys one of these two. Garunix attacks the other one. Arvata attacks over Cartesia. I have an empty board, and I just get absolutely destroyed.
Halbierter Damage, der geht nicht durch, weil du es geasht hast.
Ich glaube ja. Ja, ja, glaub schon.
Das sind dann der 3,9, das sind 2,8, also 1,1.
Ja.
Ich weiß nicht, wie viel Damage ich dir vorher gemacht habe.
Cartesia for Mysterion was also game. Yeah, I haven't unlocked Mysterion yet. It took me 1 locals to unlock Secretarion Dragon to understand when to make it. I haven't unlocked Mysterion yet. But yeah, I do think, looking back now, Mysterion deletes Fire King, right? Because you just banish the Garunix.
Ja. Ja.
Yeah, Ash off the top's not gonna help. GG's. And that was my locals. It was fun. Also, I ended up getting first place anyways because there was no one undefeated. Because my Fire King opponent was already 2-1, so we both ended up 3-1, and my tiebreakers were better, so I still ended up first place at locals. I had a good time, and I really enjoyed this this session that we just had as well. I hope you guys did too, genuinely. And I hope it showcases that everyone goes through a process of learning in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even myself, who's played this game for a very long time, every single format, I have to go over, like, I have to go through this process of messing stuff up, playing my deck badly, making misplays. The most important thing, I believe, when you are testing and when you're getting better at the game is that you realize when you're making mistakes. I think that's the most important part. You're not trying to never make mistakes. You're trying to see your mistakes so that you don't make them the next time it happens. And that's essentially, I feel like if I take the Dracotail deck to a locals next week, I would play it a lot better than I did yesterday. And if I do it again the week after, I'm probably going to play it better than the... And that's the most important part, right? And if I ever want to bring this deck to like a regional or a YCS, is why you're trying to basically go through this process over and over and over again. Until you master a deck, essentially. It's not about playing a deck perfectly to begin with. Of course, I think my play in this locals was like, even for learning a deck, it wasn't great, but I mean, it was all right, you know. Like, there was a couple of cool plays, there was a couple of things where I realized my misplays right after, but it's okay. Overall, that's how it's gonna go from now on. I'm gonna play more TCG. Basically, I'm planning to attend locals once or twice every week. I'm gonna mess around with different decks. This is finally gonna give me the opportunity to play so many decks that I haven't been able to play in the past, because I would always get myself the cards, but I would never like actually find the time to play with them. So I am planning on changing this because I did enjoy this a lot, and I hope you guys did too. If you did, make sure to let me know whether it's on stream right now, or whether it's in the YouTube comments, or whether it's in the feedback section in my Discord server. Always let me know your feedback. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. I hope you learned something. Because I certainly also learned some stuff today. I learned a lot of things during the stream, and I feel like if I learned some stuff, then you probably did too. So I think that's good.